Hi, I'm Deborah from Kitchen Sense and Information. I have 17 years experience working in food plants, and during that time I've learned a lot about food, what to do, what not to do, and now I'm going to share those tips with you. Today we're going to cover all the tips that have been covered in the last 9 videos on how to save money on your grocery bill and cut your waste. There are 58 tips, so we're just going to do like a table of contents. What tips are covered in each video. That way, if you want more information, you'll know what video to go back to. Video 1, buy from a wholesaler if possible. Buy larger quantities. Buy from a bulk store or a club store if you can. And I provide examples of how much money you can save by doing this. In video 2, we look at the foods not to freeze. Some foods, when you freeze them, they just have major texture changes and it's a disaster. Some foods you can freeze them and there will be a texture change and you will be able to use them in some foods but not in all. And we look at that. Video 3, we look at all the foods you can freeze, which is almost anything, and it's a long list. We also look at some of the small changes that happen in a few of the foods and the best applications for those foods after they're thawed. Tips for freezing liquids as well. Video 4 looks at freezers and the usefulness, different types of freezers. Tips on reusable containers. Tips on using coffee cans and metal containers. Why you should not use the plastic containers from the grocery store that contain food that you buy like margarine and yogurt. Tips on the use of plastic wrap and plastic bags. Tips on when to freeze your food, and tips on labeling and dating everything. Video 5, how long can you store frozen food? We look at how cold your freezer should be, the best place to put your thermometer when you're going to measure your freezer temperature, the recommended storage times from the Government of Canada for frozen foods. We go over why these storage times are as short as they are because they're related to quality, not to food safety. Tips on wrapping your food to preserve its maximum quality for as long as possible. Video 6 looks at thawing your food, so time frame for thawing your food. Best methods for thawing your food: in the fridge, in cool water in your sink, or in the microwave. Warnings about why you shouldn't thaw your food on the counter, and also a reminder to put thawed food back in the fridge if you're not going to cook it right away or eat it right away. How long can you store fresh food? First, we look at dates. What's the difference between an expiry date and a best before date? They are different, and they have different meanings and different consequences if you go past the date. Then we look at the recommended storage times from the Government of Canada for fresh foods. Video 8, it's 10 tips on how to manage the storage of all your food and how to organize your kitchen. Store like with like. Keep foods with similar shelf lives together. Put foods you use the most between waist level and eye height. Put the things you use less further away, lower or higher. Use storage containers to keep your groupings of food together. Use storage containers to maximize your use of the horizontal and vertical space in your shelves. Define zones in your fridge for different kinds of food, and especially define one shelf, one zone, and that's where you're going to put everything that is raw that needs to be cooked or that has a short shelf life. It might be raw meat that you're going to cook, it might be leftovers, it might be hummus you just opened or fresh salad, anything that needs to be cooked or eaten within a few days. So define zones in your freezer, for example, raw food, cooked food, and bulky food, so that your freezer is organized and it's not just a jumble of stuff. Put newer items in the back of your shelf, bring the older items forward, put open items in front, wrap your open items so they don't go stale so fast. And how do you put this in place? How do you put all these tips in place? Well, look around your kitchen and figure out what you want to put where using these tips. Make a map if that's going to help you, and then start implementing. If you need a day to implement, if you need a month to implement, take the time you need, get used to these changes. Change is a process. It doesn't happen right away, but keep working at it and you will get there. In video 9, 8 more tips on how to save money on your grocery bill and cut your waste. So if you have food that's in bags, whether it's frozen, whether it's fresh, get all the air out of the bag before you close it and then fold the bag down. Buy less processed foods and cook more. You will save a ton of money. Cook in larger batches. That way you have leftovers, you have stuff to go in the freezer for use later on. Freeze in the portion size you're going to use so that you're not thawing more than you're going to need. Plan 2 meals per week. And the rest of the week you can eat from the freezer, you can eat your leftovers. If you do all these other tips, you only need to plan 2. Make a grocery list before you go to the grocery store. Do a quick glance through your cupboard, see what you're missing. Buy that. Buy anything on sale. And that way, you're not buying more than you need. Freeze your leftovers or eat them for lunch. Don't put them to waste, unless they're unsafe. And if you still have extra food, donate to a food bank or a food basket in your area. That will help your community. So these are the 58 tips. I hope you have found this helpful, and more information is in every single video if you want to learn more about these tips. If you find this helpful and you like this video, press the like button below, subscribe to my channel. I upload a new video every Monday at 10 a.m. Plus, I upload videos on other topics during the week as well. Some other topics I cover are food and meal ideas from my kitchen, giving you simple, easy, fast, nutritious things to make. I also do fun experiments with food for kids ages 4 to 10. Check those out if you have kids or grandkids, or you just want to learn more about food. Subscribe to my channel, put a comment below, a question, anything you want me to look into. Let me know. Next Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we are going to change to a new topic. Outdoor cooking and eating do's and don'ts. It will be a premiere, so I'm going to watch it with you. I will be on the channel, and you can post any comments, and I will answer them right away. Let's watch together next Monday, the start of a brand new topic that is very relevant to summer. In the Northern Hemisphere, we've got a hot summer. At least where I am, it's pretty hot out there. And it's good to know what you should and shouldn't do because rates of food poisoning rise dramatically in the summer. We're going to look at that. Thanks for listening. I hope you find this helpful, and be safe. And I will see you next time. We're going to cover where the best place to put your thermometer when you're going to measure your freezer temperature, and then the recommended storage times from the Government of Canada for fridge in the freezer. The recommended storage time, so time frame for thawing your food. Best methods for thawing your food. So always put one kind of food here, like your raw food here. You put food here. Your bogs and backs, your back. Always